Hello happy people, Hamza here and welcome to this tutorial. Now in this amazing video I'm going to show you exactly how you can create a news blog step by step, or you can call it a magazine blog, or a blog basically whereby you can publish news every now and then, and basically you want to update your viewers on what is happening in real time. And in this tutorial you won't have to have any technical skills on how to build a website. You are in position to build up everything from scratch by basically dragging and dropping, and we are going to use a couple of tools that are, some are free and some are paid. And some of the things that you're actually going to pay for are: one, you'll pay for your domain, you'll pay for the hosting. These two are basically needed to have your website go online. In other words, to have your website be accessed by anyone around the web. And the other tools that we'll need are basically the tools that we'll have to use in building our actual website. And these tools, one of it is called Elementor and Elementor Pro. So Elementor is a free version that has a couple of tools that you can use, but in this case, since we're not going to buy a theme, so Elementor Pro is the other part of Elementor that will enable us to build up everything from headers to footers and a couple of page sections and templates within our website. Elementor is completely a drag and drop page builder, and it's one of the leading page builders out there, if not the leading. So I want you to follow this step by step and you enjoy this tutorial when you're creating your first news blog or news magazine website. Now let me take you through on what we'll be creating. So the number one thing, when you come over here to our website, you realize that we will have a header just like this, and I'll take you through every step by step on how to create it, having your logo right here, the navigation over this side, a search bar right up here, and your post grid right here for showing probably the latest blog posts that have been published on your website. We will also have a post tab right here whereby someone can over here and see what relevant information or blog posts that have been published under that specific category. On the other hand, we'll also have a sidebar on our website whereby you can link up a couple of sections, for example, latest blog posts or even your social media handles right this side. And we'll also have a single post grid right here that will also enable us to showcase a specific blog post or category right down there. And I'll also show you how to add this amazingly beautiful post list right down here with a bigger thumbnail, bigger title, and much more blog content. And down here I'll also show you how to create this post carousel down here and how to style it up to completely look like this. And on the other hand, I'll also show you how you can build up exactly this footer just down here, adding your logo, description, and including your copyright information down here, including a navigation down in your footer. And on the other hand, I'll also show you step by step on how you can create your blog post archive page. Now this is a page that will be listing all the blog posts that you have on your website, and someone can click on any of this and go read further more about that specific story. And on the other hand, I'll also show you how to create single blog post templates just like this one, adding a featured image, having a sidebar, a title, and the post content right here. And you can even add your author information, a comment box, and also a post navigation right down here. And I'll also show you how to create single pages right down in this specific tutorial, and I'll take you through how you can add a couple of sections right here and there and have it designed to your preference. And on the other hand, I'll also show you how to add a contact form on your website just like this, and also adding maybe a map locator for your business in case people want to visit your offices or your physical locations right down here. Now the other thing I have to mention is that since this is a news website, people want to know what is breaking, what is happening now and then. Now in that scenario, I'll show you how to add a news sticker just like this one here, whereby people can basically navigate through what is happening there and then, and maybe they're updated on what stories are developing. And you can even link up the specific sections, maybe based on a page, on a blog post, or basically on a category section. Now with that all, I want you to enjoy this tutorial and follow step by step. You don't have to have any fears, and you don't have to have any knowledge or prior knowledge on developing websites. Everything can be done by simply dragging and dropping. So I wish you well building your news blog or your first WordPress website, and don't forget to check out the description box below, whereby I'm going to link up a couple of tutorials that I've already created that will enable you also to enhance the functionality of this specific news blog. Enjoy building your first WordPress website. So to actually get started, we need a domain name and hosting for our website. A domain is basically the name people will be feeding in here in the address bar to get to your website, and it is mandatory in case you want to get your website online or on the internet. You'll simply use the link down in the description box below and come to this website, which is actually an affiliate link, and I get a small commission when you purchase your hosting from HostGator. Now, once you get over here, you'll simply go over to web hosting. Now, there is one plan that I recommend when you get over here, and this is the baby plan, because it offers you to host unlimited domains, and that means that you can actually host a number of websites on that plan than having the hash saving plan, which will actually limit you to one single domain. And the baby plan comes at $3.95 per month. Now, when you click over here to buy now, you'll come over here to this page, and right here you'll be able to add a domain or to search for a domain that you want to use. In this case, for example, it can be mynewcompany.com. It can be, in this case, this is going to be a news magazine or a news website, so we can name it like ePro News Channel.com.net or whatever you want. But in this case, I want to use go-tuts.net. And once your domain is available, it will show over here that the domain is available. And of course, down here they are asking you to add a domain privacy protection. I will ask you not to add this because it's going to add up more on your annual bills. However, if you think you need this at the moment, then you'll actually have to add it. The reason for adding a domain privacy is that most people will go over and check the owner of the domain, and they'll always spam you with emails selling you this and that service. So that's why it is recommended over here. However, if you're limited on the budget, then you don't have to get this service. When you come over here to number 2, choosing the hosting plan, of course here you'll have to choose the baby plan, which will enable you to host unlimited websites. And the billing cycle, you can choose either to pay per month, which will come at $8.96 per month dollars, and that is 25% off. However, if you want to get the benefit of 60.5%, like I've told you at the start of this tutorial, then you'll have to go for the 36 months plan. And this means that you actually get the biggest discount and you have a lot more time to test out the platform. However, if you're limited by budget, then you can go for the 1 month plan so that you get started. On the other hand, you need to pick a username, and this is the username that you'll be using to log into your cPanel. Your cPanel is basically like a control panel that controls all your websites that you have hosted in that server. So that is what you'll be using to feed in over right here. Now, once you have your cPanel name chosen over here, you'll add a security pin. This is a security pin that you provide to the hosting support, basically to verify who the owner of the account is. And the other part is now to enter your billing information, your email address. You have to confirm your email, your first name, last name, and all these other details, your country and the zip code. And then you have to choose a payment method, whether you want to use a credit card or PayPal. When you choose PayPal, then you basically sign up with your PayPal and then you make the payment. And in case you're going to use the card, then you actually basically have to enter your card name, card number, CVV code, and the expiry date. Don't worry about this. I'm basically going to deactivate it once I'm done with this tutorial. Now, the additional services like keep your data safe, protect your site from hackers, you basically don't need this at the moment. And then right down here, you'll add your coupon code, and this is the coupon code that I provide you down in the description box below that offers you 60.5%. That is in case you're going to use this 36-month plan. So once that is done, then down here your review for the order comes in. You'll have access to support, email, live chat, and phone, which is actually free. Instant account activation, which will also come for free. Money back guarantee, 45 days. Now this means that once you make the payment, your account or web hosting account will be available for you to use, and you'll actually have 45 days of money payback guarantee once you're not satisfied with the services of HostGator. Now here the domain registration, that's the domain for 1 year, and you're going to pay only $4.9 for the very start. Now this means you're getting a very big discount, and that is from $17.99 per year. Once you are done, you simply read all over this, the terms and condition, cancellation policy, privacy policy, you agree to the terms, and boom, you check out. Now once you check out and you make the payment, that means that they will send you an email, and that email will enable you to have access to your cPanel. Of course, the email is going to give you all the details, but it is your domain name that you have purchased, and then /cPanel, and it will take you over to this kind of login platform. And right here you'll enter in your cPanel login details. Once you get the email from HostGator, you'll have to set up your password and you'll be able to log into this account. On successful login, boom, you'll come over here to this platform. Now what you need to do is basically to scroll right down here, come over to the Softaculous app installer, click on WordPress, and basically we are going to use WordPress. WordPress is the leading website or content management system out there that helps you to build websites without any technical skills or any coding knowledge. And this is the platform that we are going to use. At the moment, it powers over 30% of websites on the internet. So once you are here, you are simply going to say install, and by default it will install for you the latest version of WordPress, and your domain name will show up right here. You can give your website a name right under here, site name. Ours is called eNews Channel, actually eNews Central, and then for your latest news. Now the account admin is a section where you're going to set up your username and password. The username is basically the name that you're going to be using to log into your WordPress website whenever you want to make changes, write new blog posts or new news. The other side, the password that you're going to type in right here is the password you'll always be using to log in. So it means that you have to save this somewhere safe. So I've already entered my password, and the email address that I will be using right here, or the site email address, is this email address. And I'm going to show you just in a while how to create this kind of email address. You can even choose a site language, and you can leave everything at default, and you simply install. Now this means that you will be installing WordPress on your new server that you just bought. Now this will be site number 1 out of the unlimited websites that you have on this server. Once you are done installing WordPress on your server, you'll even receive an email showing that you've actually installed WordPress on your server, and it will give you all the details of what you have to use, the database name, the username, the password, and all that stuff. Now, the other thing we have to set up now is the email address, or the admin email address for your website that you are going to create. And to do that, you simply come back to your cPanel and look up for the section of email, then come to email accounts. Right here we can create a new email account, and that email account will be associated with the domain that you just purchased, and we can use a username, and that username is called admin. So admin, and we can set a password for our email address, and we can allocate a space that this specific email will be using on our server. In this case, I'll make it to be unlimited. So once you have created your email, automatically your email will be added right down here, and it will show you that this is the email account, which is admin at your website. And of course you can create as many emails as you want under this specific account. And if you want to check your email, we come over here, just you click on check email, and it will take you straight right over here, and we can choose the email software that we want to be using to read our email. In this case I chose Roundcube, and boom, right here we are taken to our email inbox. See, now we are in our email inbox, and anytime in case you want to write to someone, you simply come over here to compose, and it basically works like any other email application out there. In case you want to write emails using this email address to your clients or anyone using your website email, you're going to simply come over to your domain, and then you'll /webmail. And that will basically drive you to the login page where you'll have to enter your email address, which is this email address. And then also the password that you created when you are creating your email address, and you can simply log in and you have access to your email address. So congratulations on 1, getting a domain name, getting hosting, installing WordPress on the server, and creating an administration email, which you'll actually use to get all notifications about your website from this server. So welcome back to this other amazing section where we are going now to start editing our WordPress website. So to get started, since now we have our website hosted already on our server, we have our login details to the back end of our website. So now we can simply log into our website by simply opening up a new tab, and that new tab you have to feed in your domain name, and then you have to /wp admin. And this is a login page where you're going to enter in your login username that you created when you were installing WordPress. Once you are done, you simply hit login and boom, welcome to our new website. And this website is called the eNews Central website. Now, this is one success and you have to celebrate it that you have access to your back end of the website. And now we need to see how does our website look on the front end in case someone visits our URL here. How does our website look like? Well, this is how it looks like at the moment. It has our website name, and then here it has a tagline, and it has a default theme or template from WordPress. So you don't have to worry about this. I'm going to show you exactly around how you can fix everything right here to get what you want. So the very number one thing, we're going to come back here to our dashboard. We're going to come to appearance. We're going to come to themes. And under themes, we are going to add a new theme. And the theme we are going to add is called Astra theme. Astra theme is a free WordPress theme that works very well with Elementor. It is actually part of the most popular WordPress themes out there. It is mobile responsive, fast and lightweight, and it is the one right down here. And we are going to simply say install, and this means we are going to install a theme. A theme is basically a skeleton and basically gives you an architecture or a surface on which your website is going to sit, and that's why we need a theme when we are building our WordPress website. So we are now installing Astra theme, which is free, and it actually also has a pro version in case you want to see what features or how to customize the Astra theme and all that stuff. I'm going to leave a link right up here in the card or in the description box below so that you can learn more about Astra theme. However, at the moment we simply want to install our Astra theme. The other thing we need to do at the moment is simply come here to the settings option, and under settings we can make changes to our general website settings like the site title, the site tagline, the website URL, site URL, administration email, and all that stuff. But at the moment for us everything looks fine because we set it up right back in the cPanel when we were installing WordPress. Then the WordPress website URL, this is okay. The site URL, this is okay. This is basically your website name. And then the administration email, this is now the email that we created. Now, if you have not created this email, it means that you won't be receiving any notifications from your website. So that's why we had to create that email so that we can always also be using it right here in the back end of our website. Now, here they say this address is used for admin purposes. If you change this, we will send you an email at your new address to confirm it. The new address will not become active until you have confirmed it. Now the other things like the site language, you can make changes right over here. And the time zone, I use +3. It can be a different time zone for you and all that stuff. Our week starts on Sunday, and that's it. So I'm done setting up my general website settings. Now the other one we need to set up is called the permalinks, and by simply coming under the general site settings, come over here to permalinks, and I want you to simply come over here and select the post name, and then you simply hit update. When you choose the post name, it will help your website URLs to be easily readable. This is what I mean. When I come over to my website or my blog and I click over right here on reviews, you realize that I have gotaqg/reviews. Now when I click over on this first blog post, it will take me right here to gotaqg/WordFence security plugin tutorial. Now if I don't have my permalink set to post name, which shows website URL and the post and the sample post or the post name, I'll have numeric URLs in my address bar like this for all my website content, which doesn't look tidy and is not search engine friendly. That's why I recommend you come over here and set your website to post name. So now that we have done our basic website settings, the general settings, the permalink settings, we are now going to install the tools that we are going to be using to create our website. Now, which tools are these? One, we are going to use a tool called Elementor. Elementor is the world's best page builder plugin out there, and you can use it to create amazingly beautiful and professional websites by simply dragging and dropping any section of your website. It is free for the start, and of course it has the pro version. And of course, if I look into the pricing of the pro version, it says the personal site comes at $49 per site, and it has over 50 widgets, 300 plus templates, theme builder, WooCommerce builder, pop-up builder. Maybe this doesn't make sense for you at the moment. However, I'm going to take you through every step on how you can get started using the Elementor page builder, the free version and the pro version when we are creating our news website. To get started, we are going to come back here to our dashboard. We are going to come to plugins, add a new plugin, and right here we're going to search for a plugin called Elementor. And then I'll simply install. At the moment it has over 3 million active installations with pretty amazing reviews right there. Once it's installed, I simply hit activate. Plugins are basically tools that extend the functionality of your WordPress website. In this section of plugins, you can always add a number of plugins that you find in the WordPress repository, or those that you buy from different plugin developers that you can use basically to extend the functionality of your WordPress website. At the moment, I don't want any of these plugins. These are installed by default when you install WordPress, so I simply delete them. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to install the pro version of Elementor. I already have my pro plugin over here. Simply install it, and then I'll activate the plugin. And now that means I'll be having Elementor Pro installed on my website. Now, when you have Elementor Pro, you have access to a theme builder. What does a theme builder mean? It helps you to create headers like this, helps you to create footers like this, and even more advanced ones. It helps you to create blog post archives, templates, sections of pages, pop-ups, and a lot more, including even opt-ins, sign-up forms, and also newsletter integrations. So that's the power of Elementor, of course. And if you buy a theme, it won't give you all the functionality that Elementor gives you, including responsive settings like you are going to see in this tutorial and even other tutorials that I have made already on the channel. Now, to get Elementor Pro, like I already said, you should use my affiliate link, which is gotechug/Elementor, and this will take you straight to this page right here, and you simply come over here to the pricing section, and you can choose a plan that you want to get started with to use Elementor. In case you're basically going to build this website, I recommend you get the personal one. However, I always ask people to get the plus plan, just in case you are rolling out any website anytime soon. You can always add your license to that website and get started. Back to our dashboard, we have now gotten our Elementor Pro plugin. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to create a menu. A menu is basically a navigation of your website. For example, this is my menu for my blog. These are basically categories that are in my navigation of my website: how-tos, reviews, guides, side notes, and all that stuff. So to create such a kind of a navigation, you come back to your dashboard, come right here to appearance, come to menus, and here we can create a menu. I'll call this to be our main menu, and we create our menu, and we can make it to be our primary menu. Now right here we can add a number of pages, categories into our menu. And how do we do that? First, after assigning our menu, we simply save changes, and we can come right up here to our pages section. You see right here there's something called pages, and you say add new, and in this case we're going to create pages. We're going to create our home page, our contact page, and then our privacy policy page. So we simply say home page, simply say home, publish. Next, you can even come up here and say new page. We can name this to be our about page, publish, and then we can come over here to new page. Then we can create our other page. We can name this to be contact page, publish, and then we can come up back here, create another page, and then we can name this to be our privacy. Okay, publish. Next, what we are going to create are categories on our website, because this is going to be a news website, and this website can be having different categories of news that we are publishing. For example, entertainment news, celebrities, gossip, and all that stuff. So to create categories, you simply come over here to posts, categories, and under categories you can add your categories right here. So in this case we are going to add news, which is also a category itself. and then here we can say entertainment category. Then we can add tech category. We can add travel category. We can add sports, and we can also add a business category. Okay, so these can all be types of news that you're going to be publishing on your website. Now, once you have created your pages and your categories, now we can come back to our appearance and we come over right here to menus. And now we have a number of items right here that we can add to our menu. So in our main menu, we can add a number of items. But in this case, we're going to add our categories in our main menu, because when our visitors come to our website, they're basically interested in the news. So we're going to come here to categories, view all, and we are going to add all our categories to our main menu. But in this case, we're going to delete one category, which is called the uncategorized. So I'll leave that. And we can even make changes to our categories by switching over the items arrangement: news, business, tech, entertainment, sports, travel, so something like that. Then I can simply save changes. Now this is going to be our primary menu on our website. Primary menu can be just right up here, and then the other menu we're going to create, simply come over here to create new menu, and we are going to name this menu footer menu. Create new menu, and then we're going to assign items that belong to this menu. So this is going to be the footer menu, and we're going to say the display location is the footer. So we simply hit save changes, and then we can add all those items. So it's going to be the home page, about page, contact page, and then the privacy. Boom. But it looks like we have a custom link for the home page, so I'm going to delete this, and we simply add the home page itself, not the custom link. So we have now this. We can rearrange this to just give them an order on how they are going to appear in the footer, and then we can hit save changes. Now, congratulations on creating your footer menu. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to create a header for our website. Now, when we look into our website, before it was like this. Now, let me just open it up here in the new tab, and now you realize that our website has changed. We added a new theme, which has given this kind of styling, which is the Astra theme, and the website name, which is right here, and the main menu, which is the one right up here, and the footer menu you'll see it later on when we assign it to our footer right down there. So we head back to our dashboard. We're going to come here to templates, and we're going to come to theme builder, and under theme builder we are going to say add new, and here we are going to say header, and here we're going to say main header, and then we say create template. This ability of creating a header or a custom header is given to us by Elementor. Elementor, the page builder, and this is the one that is loading up right here. Okay, so Elementor comes with a couple of bundled templates that are pre-made by Elementor team. And if you have the Elementor Pro, like now we already have Elementor Pro, we can simply choose from a couple of header templates that have been pre-made right here. However, I don't want to use any of those, and I'm going to simply close over this here. And once I close it over there, I can now simply start creating my header from scratch by simply clicking over there and adding my sections that I want to belong to the header. For example, here I can simply add a one column section, or I can simply add a multi-column section. However, if you don't want to do everything from scratch, you can simply save changes, or you can simply save a draft here. And now we are going to come back to our dashboard. And inside our dashboard, we are going to add two new amazing plugins. One is called HTMega Addons for Elementor, and another one is called Elements Kit. Now, I have actually made specific tutorials on these two Elementor add-ons or extensions. And by going to my YouTube channel, and then you go to videos. So right here, you can search for Elements Kit. And I've actually made several tutorials on how you can get started using Elements Kit and a lot more other features that Elements Kit brings you. Like, for example, this one here, and this one right down here. And for HTMega, you simply come over here and search for HTMega. And here are a couple of videos I've created using HTMega add-ons. So back here, we come here to our plugin, add new plugin. And here we'll search for Elements Kit and simply install and then activate. Next, we add another one called HTMega. You simply install and then activate. Now, once you have these two plugins installed and activated, then I'll bring you later on here to show you what we can easily create using any of these plugins. However, at the moment, we wanted to use some of the header templates that are made by Elements Kit, which really look amazing. For example, when I bring you here to our save template for the header, I'm going to simply reload, and boom, you realize that now we have this other icon or logo from Elements Kit. Now, when I click over here, and then I come over here to headers, boom, here it shows up a couple of amazing headers that have been created by Elements Kit, and we can get started using any of these right here. Okay, now like I said, Elements Kit comes with a pro and a free version, and in this case we're going to use the free version. However, if you have the pro version, you can have access to a number of other templates that come with Elements Kit in the pro version. This looks awesome. We can simply insert this, and boom, now we will have our header template show up on our website. You see how this looks like? And now this means that we can even make changes to any of these sections right here. For example, we can change the address here by coming over here to this element and clicking over right here, and we can make changes to the contact form or to the contact information. Maybe this is not a telephone number that you want. In case you want to change the icon here, you simply click over here and go to the icon library, and you can look up for a phone icon, something like this. Then you insert. Now you see that it has changed. You can even make changes to the email contact. In this case, our email is admin@go-tuts.com. You can also change the logo for the icon that you are using up there, and even the street that you are located, or your FSS that where they are located. Now, you can even delete this whole section in case you don't want it by clicking over here on the X icon, and boom, section is gone. Now, under actions, I can simply just roll back this section that I removed, and boom, it is back right there. Now, under here, we can link up to our different social networks. Now, this is a section that was added by Elements Kit. You can simply add more social media platforms, or you can even remove some. For example, when I come over here, you see I can add an icon right here: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Dribbble, Instagram. We don't have LinkedIn, we don't have Dribbble, we don't have Instagram. Okay, now under here, I can simply come over here to Facebook, and I link up our Facebook page, which is this, GoTechUG. This is my Facebook page. And here you can also change the logo, you can change the label for the icon, and you can even switch the color for your icon. And in this case, I'm going to switch this to something like this, and I can simply copy this color code, or I can simply add a new color code, which is this one here, and we can always be reusing the same color code over and over again. Come to the color of the icon. Now we can use our already selected icon color. We can also come here to our top header section right here. We come to style, and we can also make changes to the color of that. We can simply use our same color right here, and we can give it a transparency, something like this. Now we have our section that has our logo, but now we have to make changes to our logo. I can simply come over here to the logo section, and here they used an image that has a logo of their website, and you can also simply do the same by simply uploading the image right here of your logo. And to get a logo, you can simply come over here to gotechug.com/Fiverr, and if you use this affiliate link, you get 20% off your first order on Fiverr. And on Fiverr, you can basically hire a professional to make you a logo, to make you a website, and a lot more other professional services. You see, like here, this is logo design, and right here you can see a couple of different professionals that have been creating logos here on Fiverr. Some start from $100, $25, $35, and a lot more. The basis of Fiverr is that the least order you can make is $5, but it can go as far as $300, $1,000, and a lot more. But a good thing, you can simply look into the previous works of these logo designers or creatives on Fiverr, their ratings, and reviews, and you can simply hire them and offer you a service. Once you have gotten your logo, you simply come over here and then you can upload your logo to your WordPress website. However, I'm not going to upload a logo at the moment. I'm going to use another section right here, which is a text widget. So to add a text widget here, I'm going to delete this one here, which is the image widget, and then I'm going to add a heading title or a heading widget right here. I'm going to come over here and then I drag my heading widget, and I'm going to simply add my title, which is e-news, which is going to be our logo right here, and it will be linking up to our home page. And simply I'm going to click over here to the link, come to dynamic, and I'm going to say site URL. So basically whoever clicks on this word, they will be redirected to our site URL, which is our home page. I can style up my logo, which is the e-news channel, and I simply come over here to styling. I can give it our color, which is the one that we had already chosen, and we can come to typography and we can simply increase the size of our font, and we can choose from a number of fonts that are already here. Weight, we select 900, and you can even choose some text decoration, underline, overline, strike through, overline, something like that, or something like this. Now we have our e-news channel right here, and here we have a search widget, and here we have an appointments, and we can make changes right there. We can switch this from being an appointment, and we can make it to be like our contact call to action, and we can link this up to a contact page by simply searching over here, and a contact page link will show up right there. And we can choose either to add an icon or not to add an icon, but I'll choose to add an icon. Come over here to the library and I look up for the contact icon, something like that, and I can choose it to be before or after. I want it to be after. I can choose this to be in the middle of the widget or at the extreme right, and of course I can also make changes to our button right here. In this case it can be the color that I want to change, something like that, or it can be a different color, something like this, and I can also add it to our picked colors. The other thing, we can also change the typography. Maybe we want this to be the same as our logo, or we want it to be basically another color, another font, which is that Lato, and here we can choose also the weight, something like that. If you want to change the font size, you can also do it right here, but it's very good to keep consistent on the fonts you are using on your website. So in this case here, we used which font face by clicking over there, come to style, come to the text, come to typography. Here we used a default. We can choose to use a default font, or we can choose to use a totally different font. In this case, let me choose to use the Lato font. Come over here to this widget, come to the text, come to typography, and right here we're going to choose Lato, and Lato is going to be our site-wide font that we'll be using. Now I'm going to add here a new column, add a new column right up here, and I'm going to drag this widget up right here in this other column at the top. Okay, and I am going to move this column to the very extreme. I'm going to come back here, I delete this column. Boom. So we have now this taking up 70%, and we have this other one taking up only 19%. We can even make this other column to take it even more, to be like 80%. I can choose to make these icons to be vertical aligned in the middle. This is bottom, middle, and even these icons right here, vertical aligned. All these widget, all this contact information to be aligned at the middle. Even this other icon, middle. So if I try to preview right here, boom, it looks fine. I'm going to click over here on the navigation widget, and I'm going to select our main menu, which is our navigation. We're going to come to this column right here, and we are going to give it the biggest percentage. This is 30, so I'm going to give this like 60, and I'll give this other one to be only 10. Let me try to update and I will preview it. So this is how it looks like at the moment. We have our header right here, including our social media buttons. However, we can also do something like this. In case we don't want this column for the contact, we can simply delete that. And in case you don't want this search widget, we can also come over here to the search and we can get another search form and we can add it here as a widget, and we can delete the search form. I'm basically giving you more other alternatives to achieve something. If you want to make it minimal, it can be something like this, and or in case you want to make it static, classic, it can be like that. In case you want to make it full screen, you can simply make it full screen, and when someone clicks over there, it will boom pop up to be a full screen. And you can also make changes to your icon size. You can make it bigger. You can also make a lot more changes, like changing the icon color, overlay color, typography, the toggle color. Like for example, this is the toggle color, which is the icon color. So you can even make it white. And on hover, when someone hovers over this, you can also give it a different other color. And also the background, you can choose to be a different background. On hover, even on normal, you can choose to have a different background. You see how that looks like. Okay, but in this case, I don't want to have any color right there. Simply make it white and completely transparent. So when someone clicks over there, boom. See, and then the other thing, on the input, there's something called a placeholder. When someone clicks over here, this is this placeholder, which is called search. You can say search e-news. Search e-news. So when someone clicks over here, boom, search e-news. Okay, so once now we happen to preview our changes, boom, you realize that now we have our top bar, our social media icons, and our navigation right here. Okay, so now it looks like we are done. We can now simply hit publish, add a condition, entire site. We want our header to appear on the entire site. Save changes. Now we can have a look. Boom, this is how our website header looks like. Next, what we are going to do is to create our footer. So to get started to create our website footer, we are going to come back here to our dashboard by simply coming over here, exit to dashboard, and it will take us back right here, and we will come here to the theme builder under templates in Elementor, and we are going to say there is a section here for footer, but we can even say add new, and we can come over here and then select the footer, and then we can say main footer, which is the name of our template, and we simply create our website footer template. So Elementor will show up a window like this with pre-made sections for your footer templates. In case you are convinced by any of this, you can simply use any of this since you already have Elementor Pro, but I'm simply going to close over here, and I'm going to come over here to EK, which means Elements Kit. I'm going to come back here to footers, and here they are already pre-made footers by Elements Kit. Okay, so I can simply look through here a footer that really convinces me, and I can add it to my website. In this case, I'll be using this template here, so I'll simply insert it, and boom, we have our footer template added to our website right here. Now we can make a couple of changes, but before we make any changes, I'm going to simply hit publish. I'm going to add a condition, and I save changes. The condition is it's going to display on the entire website. So when I preview what's happening on our main website, we have our header right here, and now when we scroll, now we have a footer for our website right here. This is very powerful. Okay, now if you look on the website before, we never had a footer like that. Now the other thing we can do is we can make changes. You can delete sections that you don't want. For example, we don't want this section here, and we also don't want to add an Instagram feed right here. And like you already know, we don't have a G+ and a LinkedIn account. So we can delete those options. Since we have these options added up here in our website header, we may not need this right here. So I delete that whole widget. And right here we have a widget that we can use to display a number of items on our website. But in this case, I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to add a navigation widget from Elementor, which is this one here. It has no logo. Here we are having 3 navigation widgets, but this is from HT Mega Addons. This is from Elements Kit, but in this case we're going to use one from Elementor, because we have Elementor Pro. So by simply dragging it over right here, I'm going to select it here, and I'm going to make sure that I select the footer menu to display right here, and I'm going to make it to be horizontal, and I can even reduce on the percentage on what this section is taking over. So I can make it to be like maybe 30%, so that we can provide more room for our footer. You see that this here, but this doesn't look really impressive. So I can come back here to this widget, and I can make it just to be aligned on the right, and this is how it looks like. I can make more changes right here on our font and the pointers. So I can simply come over here, come to style. On the hover, I am going to make sure that it has no pointer. Active, I can make sure that when it is active, it is going to show one of this color here, and normal, it's just going to show in white color. And of course on active, we also don't want to show a pointer there. Also, the beauty about Elementor, you can make more tweaks on your entire website using the responsive settings. For example, when I click over here on the responsive mode and come here to tablet or mobile, I'm under mobile. Here it is showing a hamburger widget. Now the hamburger widget means that we have to click over here so that our menu shows up right there. However, in this case, we want our menu to show up even on the mobile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, then I'll select my widget over there, come to content, and come here to the mobile breakdown, and I'll select none. It means that all my navigation items will be showing up even on the mobile device. Now what I can do is a couple of changes. For example, I'm going to change the typography, coming here to the style. So I come to the typography, come here to the font family. I choose our font that we decided to use, which is Lato. I'm going to come now here to the horizontal padding, and I'm going to reduce on the horizontal padding. Just make it like 10. Okay. Then I'm going to make sure that I align them to the center. We want to make sure that this section here, you see this section here, that it is going to be the one below. Okay, how do we do that? We can simply come over here, select this whole section, and then we come to advanced, and we're going to come to responsive, and we're going to say under responsive, we're going to say reverse columns on mobile. Okay, so you see now it has come right down here. And then we can also make changes here. For example, this is the copyright information, and that means we can make changes here. It's called eNews channel, eNews Central, which is the company, and then it's called all rights reserved. Now we can get back to our desktop version, see how it looks like. And I think I can still make more changes right here on the font so that it doesn't look so big. Oh, it looks fine. I think it looks fine. If you're happy with what is here in the footer, like still you can add more sections here, columns. You can make changes to the font in case you have another logo, or you simply want to use this same logo that you created here. You can simply have it added right down here, and you are good to go. So once you are done with that, we can simply now hit save changes or update. And now we can come over here to our main website, and we can simply reload this. Then when we scroll down here to the footer, boom, you realize that we have our footer right here, our website description, logo, contact information, and all this stuff. But here it looks like this is aligned at the top and this is aligned at the bottom. How can we have all these sections aligned at the top? So I can simply come back here to our footer section. Once you are done fixing your footer, and actually you've added all the other sections that you wanted to add in your footer, then you are good to go. However, you can also make some adjustments to your footer. For example, we can even change our footer background by selecting this whole footer widget, come here to style, and you can come over here and we can add probably like a gradient, and you can simply shift this gradient to run from a very different angle. Let me show you. See, running from 360, you can change the colors right here to add the colors that you want to use or that your website uses. You see how beautiful that looks like. You can make changes to the location of the gradient and all that stuff. For example, this here, and you can even change location for the other color, simply just like that. So you can now simply hit update, and now when we come here to our footer, we can reload. Boom, we have our footer. Congratulations on first creating your header, second creating your footer. Next, we are going now to create our page content. Now, once you are done creating your header and footer, now we can simply come back here, go to the dashboard of your website, and now we are going to start writing or creating content for our news website. But first thing we have to do is to add authors or even edit the author information, the people who are going to be contributing to this website. To do that, you're simply going to come down here to the users, and you're going to view all the users. Now, these are the users of your website, and apparently we only have one user, who is me, the administrator. So by clicking over here, edit the admin, you can add a couple of information for your website administrator. For example, the first name for me is going to be my name, last name is that, and then display publicly means when someone is viewing or reading a certain piece of content on your website, how will you appear, the author of that content? Is it your full name? Is it just simply the admin, or basically this kind of formation? I prefer to use my full name, and the email that I'm going to be using, this is my email, but in this case I'm the admin of the website. I'll be using admin@go-tuts.com. This can be a different person, and here you can add a profile picture that you want to be using, and I can even switch or change the password that I'm using. So I can simply now hit update. Now, in case you have different authors, you can simply come over here to add a new user, and you can add that user right here. We can say editor, or we can say e-news editor, and then we can simply add their email address, editor@go-tuts.com. Maybe their first name is Arthur. Maybe it's called Arthur Mokisa. And then if they have a personal website, I can also link it up down here. And now I can generate a password for them, which I can send them once I create the account. So here I can choose the user role. In this case, they are the editor of this website. So I can simply add a new user. And boom, the new user is here. Their username is this, or their name is this. Their email is right here. Now, in case this person wants to log in, they simply go to the website URL like I showed you. Then right here, they can feed in their email. And here they enter their password, and they simply log into their account. And boom, right here they come. They have finally logged into as editors in this website. So, and in this case, you see that here the options have reduced from what I have as an administrator, and the options go on reducing depending on the user role that you add right here. So this administrator won't be in position to add or create headers, footers for the website. What they basically can do are create new posts, add new posts, add new pages, or they can even add media to this website, including moderating content on this website. Now, once that is done, I'll simply now just log out here. I come back here to our dashboard. Now we are going to create content. How do we create content? To create content or posts on our website, we simply come over here to the post section and we say add new posts. And this is one of the most interesting sections. Here we can add a header or a title for our post. Add the title of the post. Okay. And here I can start writing my content. I can come over here and I copy this content right here. dummy content. Basically, come over here, add the content, and within this content you can add a couple of details. For example, I can say I want to add an image right here, so I can come over here and then I add an image block. I can upload that image by coming over here to my images area. I can simply add an image right there, and I can also choose the image size. I want it to be medium, full size, or whatever. I can even reduce it from right here just by doing that. You can even add an image caption. And a lot more you can even add. You can interlink different content on your website, for example, by highlighting the content that you want to interlink and come over here, and you can add a link to a specific piece of content on the internet or anywhere within your website. We can even bold. For example, we can say we want to highlight this piece, something like that, or even italicize. The other thing, we can add a featured image of our blog post. For example, by coming here to document, I can come here to featured image, select a featured image, and I can upload a featured image of our blog content right there. So maybe this one is our featured image. I can add it over there by simply uploading the featured image, and I can add an alternative text. This is the text that appears once the image doesn't show up. So I can simply just get over here the name of the image, I paste it over there, and then I set the featured image of our blog post. Now the featured image is this kind of image right here. When I come to my blog, come to reviews, you realize that this is the featured image. It appears before you actually read the blog, or this one here, or this one here, or this one here. Okay, so all those are featured images. The other thing is categories. Now this is very important for a news website. So where do you want to categorize this piece of content? Now in this case, I want to put this under business, but I can also put it under sports. So business may be like my main category, and then it can also be in the news. Now that means it will appear in both the news category and also the business category. Then the other thing you can add is also the excerpt. This is like a summary of your blog post. Come to document, and right here you can add your excerpt. The discussion section allows you to allow comments on this specific blog post or not. So I'll now deactivate the ping box and the track box, and then the post attributes. You can choose here the type of layout that you want to use. Now in this case, we won't enable anything right here because we are not going to use the Astra theme settings. We're basically using it as our base for our blog. Now once you are done writing your blog post content, you can simply hit publish. Now this means that our blog post will be published live on our website. I have a complete tutorial on how to write, delete, publish, or even edit content on WordPress blogs, and I'm going to link it up right here in the card or in the description box below. So in case you want to learn more about how you can make edits in this kind of blog post, add images, add videos, add tweets, and a couple of more interesting stylings, you can simply check out that blog right up here or in the description box below. Now I'm going to add a couple of other posts, and I'll come back later when I am done. So at the moment, I've created about 9 blog posts on our website. This is the list. When you come over under all posts, you see them all listed right here. And when you go to our website homepage, this is how they look like at the moment. However, this is how we don't want our homepage to look like. So how do we achieve the design that we want? Now we are going to come here to our website dashboard, and we're going to come over here to pages, all pages. And under all pages, we are going to open up our home page, and we are going to edit this home page. And we're going to edit it with Elementor And here we are. Now we are going to first of all add here kind of like a post grid on our home page. How do we do that? Now this is where the other plugin that we added into our website comes into play, and that is the HT Mega Addons. We are going to add a new section here, add it to be one column, and we come over here to our widgets area, come under HT Mega Addons. So here is a post grid with a HT logo. I simply drag it over here to our section, and boom. Now once this shows up here, we can make some changes. We can switch between different layouts. But I prefer layout 1. That's how it looks like. Then we come here to the post option, content source, posts, and we can specify the categories that we want to show right here. We can eliminate others by simply not choosing them to display right here. Okay, something like that. Or we can simply delete everything here. And we have all the category content show right in there. And here we can limit on the amount of posts to show up. And we can even order our posts in a specific way. Let me say maybe random. We can choose to display the title length to be 10 characters, or even we may choose not to display the category of our blog posts. And under style, we can choose the grid color, typography of each and every element right in here, the date typography, and the category right here, typography and styling, including the background color. And we can also add a background to this whole widget right here. In this case, I don't want to add anything. I don't want to add a background. I want to leave it just a default. Once you are done setting up this grid layout right here, you can simply update. And that means you have your home page now having this kind of layout at the start. Now, when I click over here on the logo, it should take us to the home page. However, it's not taking us to the home page. So how do we make sure that it takes us to the home page? By default, WordPress is a blogging platform, so they expect the latest blog post to show up on the home page. By this case, we have designed a layout which is going to be our home page layout, and it's the one we want to show up right here. How do we do that? Simply come back to our pages or our dashboard, come over here to settings, come to reading settings, and under reading settings we're going to show our home page as a static page, and here we select the home page, and there we are. Also, we can create an archives page that will contain all the blog post category, or basically a page that is going to display all the blog posts that we have published on our website, and that will be the blog page. So I save this as our home page layout, and now when I come over here to our home page, boom, now you realize that we have our post grid show up right here. But now before we go any further, let me first create the archives page, which is going to be the blog post page. So I simply come over here to pages, I add a new page, and right here I'm going to name it blogs or blog, simply publish, and then I publish. And I am going now to come right here to our settings, reading settings, and I'm going to make the posts page to be our blog page, and I simply save changes. Now that means that whoever wants to read through or wants to see our archive page will go to our blog page. So now we are going to do some more customizations of our home page. First of all, we are going to make this layout for our home page to be full width, or this post grid to be full width. So I'm going to simply close over this, then come over here and select the whole widget, and I'll make this to be full width. And by full width, it means it will take over this whole space right here. And in case you don't want to have this white space right here, you can simply come over here and then select column gap and say no gap. When I go back, I preview, it means we won't see any gaps right at the edges right there. Hey yo, welcome back to the tutorial. Now yesterday I was recording the tutorial and I ran into a couple of issues whereby I had a lot of dog bark and I had to quit the recording so I could continue another time. However, what I did, I just continued creating the page without recording, and this is what I have at the moment. At the home page that we were trying to recreate, we stopped when we had created this post grid. I added all this here. This is a post tab. Also added some widgets here. But basically, I'm also going to take you through how I actually managed to achieve this kind of design using the tools that we already had. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we are going to do this news ticker. That is very common on most of the news websites. For example, it can be breaking news or new articles or something like that. So how do we do this exact news ticker? At the moment, I added it to the header of our website. Remember, we had already created our header. And now I'm going to show you how to add this new sticker. What we need to do is very simple. We are going to go to our theme builder. Now to go to the theme builder, you simply have to go to the dashboard and come to templates, which is under Elementor, and then open up the theme builder. So I have the theme builder over here and I'm going to open over our header template. Once you have opened up your header, this is what we have at the moment. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate the same section. So what I did was simply to add a new section, added this section here, and then over here I came over and looked up for a new sticker. A new sticker is a widget that is provided by HTMega, and of course it's also in the free version of HTMega Addons. So I'm going to come over here under HTMega and I'll look up for the new sticker. So I simply drag it over here and boom, I have our new sticker. Now when we come back here to our widget and we look into the style under content, we actually use style 5. So I'll simply come over here and then look up for style 5, which is the style over here. Now there are a couple of other styles, style 6, style 7, style 1, and a lot more. So you can simply go through the different stylings and see which one really applies or one that pleases you. So I chose to go with style 5, and then I decided to use the word over here to be breaking news or to be just breaking. It can be a different word in your case. And then I added a label icon, which is a bell over here, by clicking over here on the icon library, and then I chose this bell, added that over there. Then I came back over here on the ticker label and I simply added a space by simply hitting the space bar so that I could have the spacing over there. And next what I had to do was come back to our content. Now we select the content option and we can choose the content source. They are going to be blog posts. So these can even be pages in case you want to show pages as part of your new sticker content. And then here I selected the categories of the kind of content that I want to show up right here. Now this is where we created categories in the very first place. So I'll choose the news category, I'll choose the tech category, and I also choose the travel category. And if you don't choose any of the category, or if you don't select any of the categories, automatically it will fetch all posts that you have on your website. And then the news limit, you can limit it to any number of posts that you want to show up right here. If you leave it blank, it is unlimited. And if you select like 10, automatically 10 posts will be showing up in your news sticker. When we come over here to the navigation button, this is basically it. You can choose over here in the library the kind of navigation that you want to use in your new sticker. However, at the moment I wanted to keep it just on default. Next, what I had to do is come over here to style, and under style we can make a couple of styling changes over here. Now I left this to be the default color. So I came over here to the style, came to the background, then I chose to use black as our background color for this new sticker, and then we left the other ones on default. That means we have the content appearing in white, and here on the navigation we are going to add a hover effect on the arrows when they are hovered on. So how do we do that? We simply come back here, come to the navigation, and then come to the hover option, and we are going to select the color to be this color over here, and now see when I hover over there, we have that color. Okay, I think this is actually a different color, so this is the one here. I also remember that I showed you how you can add these presets right here so that you can always reuse your colors over and over again in your website building project. So congratulations, that's how I built up our new sticker. But the other thing I have to mention is that you can pad over your new sticker to match your website or the rest of the items of your website. So this side looks perfect, but this side doesn't look perfect. So what I have to do is simply come back here to our editor. So we are simply going to come and click here on the widget, come to the advanced option, and you realize on the margin we gave it a negative margin on the left side of 8. So the same we're going to do here. I'll come over here to the widget, come to the advanced section, and we have to unlink the margins. Otherwise, if we don't unlink them and we apply anything, it will apply to everything over there. So I'm simply going to unlink here, apply 8, and give it a negative margin. Now that means that this widget will now match over with our logo and all the other widgets. In a nutshell, that's how we created the new sticker widget in our news blog or magazine blog website. Once you are done, you simply hit update and you are good to go. At the moment, I'm not going to save this. I'm simply going to hit update, and that's it. So once you're done, I'm going to simply close over our header, and that's how we managed to achieve this exact new sticker over here. But also you realize that our post grid, before it was full width, or I had set it to full width, and now it is basically in the boxed version. You know how to set that. You simply come back here to your home page, simply load this section, come to our home page. I'll edit it with Elementor. So when I preview over here, realize that it's not full width, it's still boxed. When I select this content widget, I simply just converted it back to the boxed version because I simply wanted everything to be aligned right from the top here as it goes right below down here. Now when you look over here, we have this section here. This is one section, and then we have also this other section. This is basically a sidebar, and this is another widget, and basically I created 2 columns and I added these 2 widgets. Now how do we do this? I'm going to show you when we come back to our home page. Let me add here a new section. Okay, and I'm going to give this section 2 columns. Okay, and that's how we added 2 columns of this section. And I am going to come here to our widgets area, and I'll look up for the tabs, which is under the HTMega add-ons, which is up here, post grid tab, and I simply drag it over there. And then on the other hand, we have this other column which is going to help us, and we add our widget for our social media. So simply I'm going to come over here, and I am going to use the widget, the Facebook widget, which is made by Elementor. So in this case, we go to the Pro version of Elementor and we look up for the Facebook widget. This is only in the Elementor Pro version. So if you're using the free version of Elementor, you won't achieve it, or you want to get it. So here it shows up, and I basically came over here to the link option and I changed it to my Facebook URL or Facebook page URL. So this is GoTech UG, and you can obviously choose what you want to show. For example, you want to show a timeline, events, or messages. Right here you can choose to display a small header, a cover photo, and all what you want by simply clicking over here, and you enable. Now we have added messages to show up right here, and this is what it is showing here. Okay, now the other thing is that you realize that we have a small kind of header here. We simply added a title widget and we just styled it up to what we want. So how did we do that? I'm simply going to come over here, and then we'll look up for a title or a heading widget, drag it over here, and we can simply name it Stay Connected, and we can style it up to what we want. When I come over here to the style option, color is going to be white, and we are going to give it a typography of Lato typeface. And then we are going to just give it a very small, okay, since we have to be seeing what we do, then we can first switch back to that. So I'm going to give it just a very small font size, which is about 16. Let me see what we gave it over here. Typography 16, yeah, and then font weight is bold, so we are going to come back here 16, and then the font weight is just simply bold. And then I simply came over here, went to the advanced section, background, and I gave it a background type, and the background type was this color here. And then I'm going to go back here to the style option, and the text color I'm going to switch it back to white, and then I simply gave it some padding just to be right, just like this. So when you check over here, advanced, I give it a padding of 1010, and I'm simply going to do over here the same, come to advanced, padding 10 all over, and I'm going to center this word right in the middle. So content, I'm going to have it centered. So that's how we managed to have something like this. But also we made our column to be a little bit smaller, giving it a smaller percentage of 25% of this whole section. So I simply select this column. Now remember, we have only two columns, this column and this one here. Now we're simply going to give this column a 25% share of this whole section. And that's how we managed to have our widget looking just like this. And when we come over here, realize that we have our widget looking like this. Actually, this is supposed to be a post tab, not a post grid. So I'm going to come back here to the widgets area, scroll down to our HTML add-ons, and look up for the post tab. If I can't manage to look it up, I can simply search it over here, post tab, which is this over here. It's from Elements Kit, not from HTML add-ons. So I'll simply drag it over here, and I'm going to delete the others that we don't need. And now here in our post tab, we can make a couple of changes. First, we can choose which categories we want to show in our post tab. I want to show first the tech, sport, news, and entertainment. So I come back here. I'm going to delete this. Now when I come back here, I select tech, news, sports, and entertainment. That's how you add your categories into your post grid, and you can even add the others, entertainment and business. This can be basically the order that you want your post grid to show up right there. Now the other thing we can do is to style this up. Example, here we give the active color to be purple, and then the hover color also to be purple. So when we come over here, I have to apply that to the background. So post item, typography, the background is supposed to be this one over here. So that's how I happen to achieve this over here. So it can be a little bit tricky, so you have to be very sure on what you're trying to make changes to, the color for the typography and the background type, which is the background color. And that's how I managed to have this section over there. And now we have this other section down here, so which is basically a single post carousel. I don't know how to really pronounce this word, but you get it. So I'm going to come back here to our section, and we are going to come to our widgets, and we're going to search basically for that post. Yeah, whatever. It's from HTML. Now, this is one of the reasons why I actually had to choose these two main plugins, because they give you a lot of options. If one doesn't have this, the other will have it. And you can, when you mix them up, you basically achieve what you want to create. Now, when we come down here, you realize that we chose the layout for, and we limited to certain categories and a number of posts. So when I come back up here to the section we are creating, we chose layout for. But of course, you can even choose other layouts that are made by HTML add-ons, for example, layout 3, layout 2, and you can customize it to whatever you want. So I go back to layout 4 and realize it is just like this, kind of like blog posts that are in a carousel format or whatever that word is. Then post option is going to be posts. I'm going to limit this to 3 posts or even 2 posts, and then the categories I want to show there is business and entertainment. Okay, and I want this to be in ascending order, and you can choose to display the category, the date, even the title and the title length, content length, and all that stuff. So the other one is the carousel option, and you want to show how many options in the slider. I want only to show 1 option in the slider. Now when you say 1 option in the slider, that will automatically move it to be just like this, 1 here, and if you choose to show 2 only, it will look something like this. But now if you don't want to use the carousel option, because we want them to be listed like in a vertical format, so we're going to come back here to the carousel, come to the post carousel, and we're going to turn off the carousel ability. Okay, and now that means that we will have our blog posts showing up in a vertical format, and that's how I happen to achieve this exact design down there. To show you a little bit that this is exactly what we did, I'm going to delete this section down below. But before I delete it, I'm going to show you how we also added the recent posts section over here. So I'm going to come back here to our section, and I'm going to first duplicate this one here, the title, and I'm going to drag it down below here, and I'm going to just simply change it to recent posts. So I come back here and I look up for the post list, which is post list, which is down here. It's from Elements Kit, and then I drag it over right here. Now it shows up. Then the selected post, I want to show the recent posts, and then I want to limit to a number of them. I can say 5, and right here I can choose to display them in the default format or even to display inline, but I want them to display in the listing format in the vertical option, and also want to display the featured image and a little bit of the meta. And the meta is basically this right here. I can show the date. Now when we come up here, realize there is no date. I can show the date, and I can also show the category meta at the top of that. Once you are done setting up your recent posts, you can even style them up. For example, you can say the meta, I want it to have a specific typography size, font face, select your font, and then you can give it something really small, and then you can come here and you can assign it a very different color. For example, the color could be, one of these here, something like that. And you can also make changes to the titles right over there. So basically that's how you can add your recent posts widget like that in this web project. Now I'm going to delete this other section that I had created earlier, delete this, and I'm simply now going to update, and you see how this is going to look like on our newly created section. So I come to the home page, and I'm going to open it up in a new tab so that we retain this one that was already created. And now when I scroll down here, boom, you see we have our section over there, and we have this other section down below. Wow, I love how it looks like. And then we have this other section here. Looks really beautiful. Now next, what we are going to do is how I created this other section below here. Now to create this section, I simply added a new section right over here, and when you look over to this other section, I use the widget called blog posts. Okay, and this widget called blog posts is from Elements Kit. So simply added a whole column, and then came over here and I looked up for blog posts, which is this from Elements Kit, dragged it over there, and then there is a layout style called block, another layout style called grid with thumbnail, grid without thumbnail. So when you look at this, these are the grid with thumbnail, grid without thumbnail. So I simply used the block one, and I chose to display the featured image, and then the featured image alignment is left. Look at this, that's how it looks like. And by default everything is showing up just as I wanted it to appear like. That's why you see that I have this kind of design. But of course you can make more other changes to this widget to show up your blog post in a certain way. For example, you can make changes to the meta or what kind of blog posts are going to appear in this specific widget and the order and all that stuff. And of course you can even make changes to the meta position. You can say the title should be before, after, or the other option. Now the styling and colors all go back to you on how you want to make them. But for me, I was happy with what I had here. I'm simply going to delete this section because I don't need it anymore, which is the one down below here, and I'll update. Now when we look into our website preview on what we have so far created, we have our post grid here, the post grid tab or the post tab here, the sidebar widgets, and we have here the single posts, and we also have this one here, the block widget for the posts. And now we are going to create this one over here. To get started creating it, we are going to add a new widget here or a new section, and we are going to add a new widget called the blog posts. So come over here, it's made by Elements Kit, drag it over here, and we are going to simply change it to grid with thumb. So our grid with thumb will have 3 posts show up, but you can make them even up to 6. And then you can also show the title, or if I want to crop by word, for example 1, you realize that we'll only have to show up 1 word in the title. And simply that's how it works like. If you leave it blank, it will show unlimited or the size of the title. But we are more interested here in the query. From which categories are we going to pull our posts that are going to show up right in this section? In this case, I'm going to leave it to be entertainment and news. So we can do a lot of more other things. The meta section, we can show a floating date. This is the floating date over here. This is the format number 1, which is this. And this is the format number 2 that we can use from the floating date. I prefer to use this one over here. And this is basically showing the date when the post was made. And then the read more option in case we want to show it right down here. The other thing we're going to do is to limit on the meta, for example, under the meta section. So under the meta section, we will show the date. It will be after the title, and that's how it looks like. So we come back here to the layout section, and we're going to come to the option that says show content, and we're going to deactivate that. That means that our content won't be showing up right here. So at the moment, we have something that is very familiar to this. Next, we're going to come here to the style options, and we're going to come here to the background, and at the moment we only need the white background option. So meta color section, I choose to be black. I can try to move the knob right here. The same, I come over here to the title. I want the title color to be black. I can also choose to move the knob once the color is not kind of affected down there, and boom, that's how far we are. And when now preview right from here, you realize that we have our section right there. Now we are going to delete this other section, we no longer need it. And now that means that we have created our other section that we had over right here. Now I'm going to simply hit update. And once I hit update, I will reload our home page over here. And boom, we have our section right here. Now, before we leave the home page, I want to take you through a couple of things. For example, like making changes to the responsive settings of our home page, which is very important. And Elementor gives you a huge ability to make changes to your responsive settings of your home page or any page or your entire website. And to make changes to your responsive settings, you simply come over here to the responsive icon here. Then you can display or you can preview your website on the tablet, and this is how it looks like. When we look into our header, you see how this looks like. It means that we have to make some changes on our header of canvas so that it is showing on top of this other section right here. When we scroll down here, this looks fine so far, and you can still make changes on how you want everything to appear. And also the same applies to the mobile version of your website. Now look at this. This is the header. Now we can even go back to the header. For example, when you come over here to our dashboard, but then templates, and then you select a theme builder and you open up your theme builder. Right here I have my header. I can simply open it with Elementor, and I'm going to show you how you can make this header here to display very well on your responsive settings. For example, I want this same search widget to show up in the same line over here, and this kind of setting applies to your entire website, and you can follow the same procedure to make changes to any of these other widgets that you created on your website. When we come to our header over here, we're going to switch to the mobile version, and I'm going to come over here to this column. I'm going to make it to be 50%, and I'm going to make this other column also to be 50%. You see how that works like? Now I'll move this all column that was below here to the top over there. Now it looks like we can also make changes to this also other widget down here, which is our new sticker. So I can simply say I don't want to show the new sticker on the mobile phone because it will look very, very squeezed. So that way I can simply come over here, select the whole widget, come to advanced, come to the responsive options, and you are going to say under visibility, hide on mobile. So that means that we won't be able to see this widget on the mobile device. Now simply hit update. Now I'm going to take you to a live website, which is over here. I'm going to reload this, and I'm going to view this website on the mobile version. I can simply open it up on my phone, or I can simply resize this browser to show you how it will look like. Now when I do like this, realize that on the mobile screen, this is how our header is looking like, and our search widget is on the same line or in the same row with our social media buttons. So that's how you can simply make changes to your mobile responsive settings of your website using Elementor. But also remember that we had hidden the new sticker, and when I do like this, the new sticker is not appearing anywhere over there. Now when we come to our home page and we display our home page on the tablet, when I click over here, it's being hidden under our post grid on the home page. So how do we make sure that this off canvas menu of ours is showing on top of these widgets? Because basically someone wants to navigate through these widgets over here. So to do that, so we are simply going to come to our header section and come to this widget over here. We select that widget and come over here to advanced and give it a Z index that is a little bit bigger. It can even be maybe 20, and then we can simply update. Now when we update, we're also going to update this section. When we update here, it's going basically to update the page section, not the header section, because this is the home page. So when we update, we basically want to pull over the changes we have made on the header, and also not lose the changes that we have made on the home page itself. Now I'm going to display this home page on the tablet, and we see how this menu is going to look like. Boom! Now our off-canvas menu is showing up on top of everything on our home page. Now this is what I wanted us to do, and we can also navigate to different other sections of our website. Now you're asking, why do we have something blank here? Is because by default Elements Kit made sure that you'll be using an image as your logo, but we can even make changes to that. Come back to our header, come over here, and we can display our off-canvas menu like this. See how this looks like over there, and we are going to make changes to that. And here we can choose a logo that is going to represent our website over there. Now the logo can be an image of this logo here. Now imagine that we created a JPEG or a PNG of our logo over here. It's the one that we'll have to select over here. Let me say this one over here, and then we insert that as our logo, and then you simply update. Now when you update, I'm going to come over here to our live page and I load our live page. And I'm going to move it to the tablet mode. This is kind of like the tablet mode, and boom, you see now our logo has shown up. And this can be any logo that you choose to show up in your off-canvas menu or your menu on the tablet or even on the mobile device. Even the colors over here can change. You can switch up everything, and even the hover effects over here. Keep this tutorial a little bit brief and give you the basics that can get you started creating something that you want without actually spending a ton of cash hiring someone, yet you can just spend a few hours and make this thing the way you want it to be like. And also I've created a tutorial on how to create an off-canvas menu using Elementor, and you can always check them out on this channel. I'll close over our header since we have finished making our changes. And in brief, that's how you can make changes to your responsive settings of your website, any section that you have created. So now we'll concentrate on creating or making changes on our desktop version. So with that said, I want to congratulate you, one, on creating the hardest part of your website, which is the home page, including creating the headers, the footer, and the homepage content. That is one of the hardest. Now the other sections are basically a reflection of what has appeared on the homepage, and you can simply do that in a couple of steps. And I'm going to take you straight in how you can create your blog post archives and single blog posts using Elementor, and you get started creating and writing blog posts on your news website. See you there. Now, once you are done creating your home page section, now we are going to create our archive page section. The archive pages will be the blog post page that will basically display or list our blog posts. Now, to do that, we are simply going to come over here and exit to the dashboard, and under theme builder, I'm going to say add a new, and I'm going to say an archive, and here I'm going to say blogs. Then I create a template. Right here, Elementor will bring me the archive templates that they have already created that I can start with. At the moment, I'm not going to use any of those. I'm simply going to close over this. And here by default, our header shows up, our news sticker shows up, and our footer shows up because we set them to be appearing on the entire website, so we don't have to recreate them over and over again. Now here I'm going to simply add a new section, and this section is going to be having 2 columns. Now there are a couple of options. We can even come over here to Elements Kit, because Elements Kit already has a bundle of pre-made sections. For example, when I come over here to this section, these are already made sections that are available to use. Now when I come here to the section for the blog, you realize that Elements Kit has already some pre-made sections for our blog posts right here that we can use. Now I can get started with a free one over here, and then I insert that section, and boom, here it shows up. And when I click here on the edit option, and when I come here and edit the widget, I can make changes to what can be queried in this specific section of the website. Basically, I'm going to delete the first section that I had created, and I'm going to come over here. I want to show the number of posts per row. I want to show 3 of them. I want to show the post title, the query. I want to show the post counts are going to be 3, but I can even say 6 posts to show up, or I can even say 8 of them. And the categories, all the categories. News, entertainment, and business. If you want to eliminate, you simply delete the category from appearing there. Order by, date, ascending or descending, whatever you want. And then the meta description, or what do you want to display under the meta. The data and category seems okay, and you can even make changes to the icons of the meta options. So when I come back to the layout, I have the option to show the read more option, or the read more button, which is over here. This is a layout that is showing post without thumbnails. Now if you want to show the post with thumbnails, you simply switch over there, and boom, your thumbnails will show up right there. Now let me show you a preview of this. See how that looks like. Now when we come over here to the widgets area and then we look up for a widget that is from Elementor called archive posts, I simply drag it over here. I am going to delete this other one that we had created that is from Elements Kit. Now when we get over this from Elementor and then the skin, we can choose different skins. There's a classic one, cards, and then the full content. When I choose the cards skin, it will show up just like this, and then the columns are 3 and we can show images, or we don't want to show images. The image size, we can say it is full so that doesn't look like kind of low quality. We can choose to show the author, the date, the time, comments, and all that stuff. Under styles, you can make changes to your styles over there. For example, when I come over here, realize you see this is what it's looking like. And once you say update, since we are creating an archive page, we're going to add a condition and we want this to appear or to be used as the archive for all archive pages. So I'll say save and close. But also to explain to you further on what archive pages means. Archive pages means author archive, date archive, search archives, post archives, category archives, and all other archives on this entire website. But also Elementor gives you the ability to create archive templates for maybe a specific category, and you can do that over here by simply selecting category, and you can specify maybe the tech category, and you say this template I'm creating is only for the tech category. But that's not what we want. We want to simply create one template that is going to work for all the archive pages, and then I simply save and close. Once you save that over, I'm going to come over here to our home page, open our home page. Once it shows up over there, I'm going to go to our archive page, which is the blog, and boom, here it shows up, our latest news. Now all our blog posts are showing up over here. So once you are done creating your archive page, right there, you're going to simply hit update, and this is how it looks like. Really looks beautiful. And like I said, you can make changes to any of these. You can even choose to show the avatar for the author, the name, even the read more over down here. For example, the content, you can say you want to change that title color. Let me say I want the title color to be this color, which is purple. So in a nutshell, that's how you can create an archive page for your WordPress archive pages, including categories and blog post archives. Once you are done now, including making changes to the responsive settings on the tablet, the mobile, on how your archive posts will show up, then you can simply hit update and you are good to go. Now what we are going to do, I'm going to close over this. I'm going to go to our menu under appearance, menus, and we are going to add one more important page, and that menu item is the blog post archive, which is supposed to show all our archive pages once someone clicks over it here. So I come over here to menus, and under our main menu, I come over here to the select menu option, main menu, select the menu. So I'm going to come over here to the pages, and I show all pages, and I'll look up for our blog post page. I add it to menu right here, and I simply hit save changes. I can also do the same for the footer option. Select the footer, I open the footer menu, and I can also add the blog post or archive page right there, add to the menu, and boom. So I simply save changes and I'm good to go. Now when I go to my home page, actually let me go to the live website, I reload that over, boom, now we have our blog page show up right here, or blog menu item show up right there, and the same appears down here in our footer. So when I click over here on our blog archive page, boom, our blog archives show up. Now also if we click on any of these other items here, it will show up based on the blog post archive template that we created, and we assign to all archives. So when I click on the news, boom, you see that we have our latest news over here, or we have all our blog posts under the news category show up there. And under tech, we also have all our tech archives show up right there. So in a nutshell, that's how we have finally created our blog post archives, and they are showing up in this design and layout, which looks pretty amazing. So once we have now created our category layout or archive page layouts, we have now to create one more other layout, which is for the single post layout. Now at the moment, we're using the default single post layout or blog post layout from Astra, and we don't want to have something like this. So how do we create our single post layout? We simply come over here to our dashboard, come over here to Elementor templates, to the theme builder, and then we are going to add a new single posts, and we are going to name this single. And right here, I'll not use any template from Elementor. Then I'm simply going to come over here, add a new section, and automatically Elementor will show us all the single post widgets that we can use. We can start maybe with a featured image. We drag it over there, and we can come back here, and then we can add the post title, and then we can also add post content. And then down below here, we can add the post navigation in case someone is done with this post. And then there's something called the post info. The post info can be added just here at the top. The author, the date of publishing, the time. We may remove here the time option and the comments that are available on that post. And of course, you can make tweaks and changes to the styling of any of this section. For example, the icon, we can change the color to this, and the text, we can also change the typography to the one we want. Maybe this is Lato. The post title can also be changed to what we want. For example, we can change that post color to be something like that. We can change the typography to our typeface, and we can even transform to capitalize, and we can change the size and all that stuff. When you come back here to the widgets, the post title, post content, featured image, author box. So the author box comes down here below, and then we can also add the comment section for people who want to leave us feedback. For example, right here, comment section. And then we can allow theme comments on the current post. In case you want to add like a sidebar, we can simply add another column. So add a new column, and we can give this column like a 25%, and we can add other widgets of ours. For example, like Facebook widget. We can simply drag it over here, add your page. In case you want to use another widget that you use somewhere else, you can simply come over here, and then we can pick up a widget that we had used on our home page by coming to pages, all pages, open our home page with Elementor, just exactly to this section here, and we can copy this column and come over here to this other column that we had just created, and we can paste a column. Now that means we'll have 3 columns, then we'll have to delete the column that we no longer need, which is this column, and we can give this column a width that we want it to take over on the whole section. Someone can read our posts, and they can even comment and all that stuff. I'm going to leave a link up here in the card or in the description to show you how you can create single blog posts using Elementor. It's a complete tutorial so that you can know how you can tweak a couple of things right in this section. Now once you're done creating your single blog posts layout, then you can simply publish, and then you can say you want this to apply to the posts which are all in any kind of category, and you simply save and update, Now that means for every single blog post it will have this layout right here. Now let's go to the live website, and then I come to the blog posts, and now when I click on this blog post over here, you realize that now as the layout that we just created, it has a featured image, and we have the sidebar right over here and the heading, and people can read that blog post up to down here, and they can also comment, and they can even go and read a previous story, because we added a widget that helps you to add option for people to navigate through the different posts that you have on your website. So that's what it does over here. So in a nutshell, that's how you can create a single blog post layout in Elementor. Now next we are going to make changes to our pages, creating our other pages, the about page, privacy page, and the contact page, and then we will be rolling this out. See you in the next section. Now to make changes to our pages, we're simply going to come here to our dashboard, come to pages, and we are going to open up the pages we want to edit. The about page, first of all, I'm going to edit the about page, and I'm going to edit or open our about page with Elementor, and then here I can start adding sections or content to our about page. But in a nutshell, we can come over here to this folder icon, which gives you ability to access the pages or sections that have been created by Elementor. They can be about pages or anything like that. So there is this here, there is this here, and you can do anything. For example, I'm now going to use the Elements Kit about page template. When I come over here to the pages section, you have all this over here, but let me come to the sections area. There is under here something called about, and these are about sections that have been created by Elements Kit. So let me say insert this one, which is free, and then you can also add a number of other sections here that you want to use under your about section, or you can simply come over here back to Elements Kit. So when you come to inner pages, there's something called about us, and you can simply pull over this about us template. So the choice of which templates to use, whether from Elementor or Elements Kit or HTMega add-ons, that all goes back to you. I'm basically showing you how you can make best use of all these resources that have been made available for you. And you see how now our about page looks like, and of course you can make tweaks to any of these sections. For example, this is under the theme. You can make changes to here. You can change the image of the person. You can switch to another person or to another image. You can change all this over here, creative theme, or you can even make it to be get to know us. And here there is a testimonial slider, and you can also add testimonials right there. You can choose from the different testimonial templates over here. You can add here the message for the testimonial, the person. This is from John Deo. You can make changes here, their title and the message. Once you are done making your changes, simply hit update. Now when we go to the live website and then we come down here to about, boom, you realize that we have our about page right here. Now this can be about your company, about what you do, and about whatever you are interested in. But here it looks like we have a little bit more big margin. You can come over here, come to advanced, and at the top padding we are going to reduce that padding maybe to 10. And let me see at the bottom, hope it's not too much. Let me make it 30 and also 30 at the top, and I update. I come to the live page, I reload the live page. Boom, you see that now it has changed the padding. The same thing we are going to do for our other page. We are going to create other page for the contact page, which is another interesting thing to do. Come to the contact page, edit the contact page. I'm going to open this contact page with Elementor, and over here I'm going to add a contact page template, I've actually created a tutorial on how to create a contact form using Elementor Pro. However, here I'm going to show you how you can get started. So by adding a new section, I'm going to add that new section to have 2 columns. One column I'm going to put a map. So I come over here, I pick over our map widget that's made by Elementor. I drag it over there, and we can simply add our location to our map, which is that. You can even make changes to the zoom settings. Then we come back here, we look up for our contact form widget, or the form widget, which is made by Elementor form, and there is this one here. The ones that don't have anything like a logo, those are from Elementor. So pick up our form widget, and by default we have this form. You can give it a name and all that stuff, but what is very important is under here, who is sending. When someone uses this form to send you the email, it will show it is from this email, which is admin. So it will also show the person who has sent the email. And the other thing is that you can show which data, the date when that email was sent, the time, the page URL the person sent that email from, the user agent, remote IP of the person who is sending you. The form fields, you can add them here. You can add more other forms over there. For example, you can say add a type, you can collect the date, you can ask people to upload a file. For example, you can say upload PDFs, upload your article, something like that. Then here you can choose the file maximum upload size. You can say I want only people to send files of 5 MBs, and if files allowed, you can say maybe we want only people to send only PDFs. And then you can even enable multiple file uploads right there. Okay, maximum files, and all that goes back to what you want. You can even style up the send button. For example, when I come over here to the style options, I come to the button, and then you see the normal color, the background color. I can switch it to our color, and on hover I can give another background color, which is this other color. See how that looks like? And all those settings, you can apply them to your contact page. When I come here to the section, come to the advanced, I can add padding to the top and bottom, or to the whole widget, something like that, so it can look a little bit more neat. And once you are done with even your map settings, you can choose the zoom to be more inside, or you can simply just leave it to be outside, so that someone just needs to click over here and they zoom into the location of your office. And you can even choose the height of your map. It can fit the height of your contact form and all that stuff. So once you are done creating your contact page, of course you can add more other sections here, whatever you want. Maybe more information about your contact information from the company, location. You can add them right there by adding new sections. Now once we are done, we simply hit update. And if you want to see a complete tutorial on how to create a contact form in Elementor and testing it, you're going to watch this tutorial up here in the card or in the description box below to see how you can create this contact form, test it up, and use it in your Elementor website. Basically here I'm showing you how you can put together a couple of widgets and elements to get your website on the go. So in a nutshell, that's how you can add a contact form to your Elementor website. The other page that will need your attention is a privacy page that you have on your website, and by default nowadays when you install WordPress, it brings you a default privacy page policy just like this that you can get started with on your website in case you don't have a lawyer or anyone to help you to formalize your privacy page or contact information or the information that you collect from your visitors. However, there are many other platforms out there that helps you to generate privacy policies. Let me say free privacy policy generator, and you can go to any of these websites right here and you can generate a privacy policy. But of course it needs your attention to make sure that you customize everything on what your website collects from your visitors and how you use the data that you collect from your website visitors. Maybe the other thing I have to show you is how you can add this kind of widget or sidebar on your WordPress pages, or even how to remove it. For example, when I come over here to pages, for example, when we come over here to the draft privacy policy page and we say quick edit, it is going to open up this privacy policy page. When you come under document and scroll down here, there is something called Astra settings, and then the sidebar, and you can customize which sidebar is going to show up. There is a left sidebar, right sidebar, and then no sidebar. Now, how do you make changes to which sidebar is showing, whether this right sidebar or left sidebar? So when you come back here to your editor, then you come to appearance, widgets. Of course, this can change depending on what theme you are using. In this case, we are using Astra theme, and there is something called the main sidebar. And under the main sidebar, there's something called the search, the posts, recent comments, archives, categories, meta, and you can simply drag over here any kind of widget that you want to display in your sidebar. For example, if you want to show maybe the RSS feed, we simply drag over here the RSS feed widget, or in case we want to add the navigation menu, we can simply drag over that over there, and we can choose which menu we want to display in our sidebar, and we say our menu. Basically, order it in any way that you want, and once you are done adding or even affecting which sidebars you want to display on your page, you simply hit save changes, and then you come back here to your privacy policy and you simply update. When you update, you'll see something here called menu, and here you see our menu, and it is basically listing what is in our menu. And in case you don't want to use anything from Astra, or in case you don't want to use this kind of layout from Astra, you simply can come back here to your Elementor, and then you edit your privacy page with Elementor. And how do you do that? You simply click edit with Elementor, and once you edit with Elementor, then you're in position to add a number of block sections widgets using Elementor. And once it is opened up here, you can even choose and say you want to use the Elementor full width, and you can even choose to add another column over there, and you can give this column maybe like 20% or 25%, and you can add other widgets to that page by simply dragging over those widgets to this section, and you are good to go. But at the moment, I don't want to do anything like that, just to show you a go around on whether to use the default Astra page layout or to just create everything using Elementor, and you are good to go. Now, once you are done creating all the pages for your website and you are happy with what you have created, for example, the headers, the footers, the logo, homepage area, homepage sections, sidebars, blog post archives, contact pages, about pages, then we can consider this to be a successful project. Now, this tutorial is basically to give you an idea on what you can create using Elementor and to help you get started. So it's not something complete. If you want to see a complete tutorial that will show you exactly how you can create each and every section with all the details, then you are going to check out this other tutorial on my blog that will show you exactly how you can create a WordPress website and make edits and changes to each and every section. So this one is basically to give you a highlight on what you can create. Before I actually close up this tutorial, the other thing I have to mention is that remember we installed HTMega Addons and Elements Kit, and I promised you to show you around these two plugins. But basically, I wanted to show you these two plugins. When they're installed, they bring over a lot more other extensions to Elementor, and that means that if you leave them activated when you're not using them, they will kind of slow up your WordPress website. So now when I click over Elements Kit and I come over here to Elements, you realize that we have the accordion, we have the heading, blog post, and all that stuff. So I will ask you to make sure that you deactivate. For example, I never use the widget for the video, I never use the business hours, I never use the drop caps, I never use the contact form from Elements Kit. Remember, we use the contact form from the Elementor Pro plugin, not the Elements Kit contact form. So basically you deactivate whatever you never used from these two plugins. Now that means that your website will not have a lot of code executing in the background, yet you're not actually using it. So once you deactivate those widgets that you're not using, in this case I'll not deactivate the blog posts because we are using the blog post widget somewhere in our website. So make sure what you're using, you don't deactivate it, and you only deactivate what you are not using. Once you are done deselecting or deactivating what you don't use, you simply hit save changes. And once the changes are saved, now you go also to HTML add-ons, and then also come to the element section and make sure you deactivate whatever you're not using. So in this case, we're not using the accordion, animated heading, banner, brands, block quote, special day of our business hours, button, call to action, counter, countdown, and a lot more. So you make sure that you deactivate all those ones that you never use in this tutorial. Okay, once you are done, you simply come down here and then save changes. That's a very good way to basically to fasten your website and not to have a lot of code executing behind your WordPress website. And also, if you want also to check out specific tutorials about these two, check down in the description box below. I'm going to leave a link to these tutorials to any of these extensions. So what you have to do once you are done, simply come over up here, hover over your name or your website name, and simply say log out. Now this will log you out from your WordPress website, and any other time you want to make changes to your WordPress website, you have to log back in by providing your username and also providing your password, and then you can log back into your WordPress website and you can make changes to any side of your WordPress website. Now we have so far done over 70%. The other 30% I'll show you down in the description box below, a couple of tutorials that you may need to extend further your WordPress website functionality and a lot more. So congratulations on building your first news blog website or your first WordPress website, if that is the case. And what I have to tell you is that this is basically like 70% of what you basically have in position to know on building a WordPress website. There are a couple of other tutorials I've made on this channel, and even a couple of others that I've linked up down in the description box below that you should check out, that will also enable you in enhancing the functionality of your WordPress website. For example, like writing your blog post from scratch, and also like integrating your website with a search engine, also adding Google Analytics to your WordPress website, and a couple of other things like securing your website. Those things I've not mentioned them in this specific tutorial simply because I wanted to make it a little bit shorter so that you don't have to watch for longer hours, but also you're in position to build up something in a limited period of time, and also you can go watch over the other tutorials that you may so wish in order to enhance your WordPress website. So I want you to enjoy building your WordPress website, that also don't forget the fact that you have a lot more other to learn, and also to get to know on how to fix a couple of things on your WordPress website. Now I want to invite you to let me know down in the comment box below what your feedback is. How do you feel about this? Is it something you expected? And in case you have any questions, comments about this specific tutorial, please let me know down in the description. Let me know down in the comment box below. I'll be so happy to read from you. Otherwise, I hope it brings you a ton of value, and that the tools that we use, you will find them easy in your building journey. And I also don't want to forget to give credit to Elementor for building such an amazing tool that we can easily use to build up our WordPress website. And one thing you have to know about Elementor, Elementor is one of the leading WordPress building page builders out there, and has a large community and a couple of resources both on my YouTube channel and a lot of more other social media platforms, including the Elementor blog that you can always check out. So you are in good company. In a nutshell, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I wish you well building your WordPress website, and don't forget to keep crushing it and building something awesome every other day. Have a good time. See you in the next one.